Before we jump in, I want to introduce you to Albert. He's the first AI agency advisor that I've personally trained. After looking at thousands and thousands of agencies over the years, I've mapped out 6 clear stages of growth, and Albert uses this to help you figure out which stage you're in, what's holding you back, and what you need to change next. All you have to do is answer 7 quick questions. It takes you less than 3 minutes, and you can check it out at agencymastery.ai if you want more freedom, more profit, and a smarter path to growth. So go to agencymastery.ai. All right, let's go get in today's episode. You're listening to the Smart Agency Masterclass with me, Jason Swank, and we're bringing you this episode courtesy of our friends at Wix Studio. Let's go ahead and get into the show. Hey, Laryssa, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you on the show. Tell us who you are, what you do.
Sure. I'm Laryssa Wirstiuk, and I am the owner of Joya, and we are an email and SMS marketing agency that caters to women-focused, product-based e-commerce brands. We're really boutique. We have a small team, and yeah, that's what we do.
Cool. And how'd you get started?
Yeah, I started my agency about 10 years ago in 2016. At the beginning, it was just me. I was a solopreneur, and I was working specifically with the jewelry industry niche, being more of a marketing generalist, digital marketing generalist with the jewelry niche. And then did that for about 9-ish years. And just this year, we focused more on the email and SMS marketing while also broadening out of the vertical that we were in, which was jewelry for 9 years.
Okay. And what got you to start an agency?
Great question. I've been in marketing pretty much my whole career for 15 plus years now in different facets of it, like SEO, social, email, all of the types of marketing. And I've always had kind of an entrepreneurial streak. I am a millennial who unfortunately came out of school during the economic crash of 2008, 2009, which kind of forced me to be a little bit more like independent and industrious and learn how to be super flexible. And I think building those skills over the years of being a freelancer, doing this, doing that, it really gave me the foundation I needed to break out on my own and do my own thing.
That's cool. And did you pick the jewelry niche right off the bat?
So prior to focusing on jewelry, I had my marketing experience in a lot of different industries, but I never quite found a vertical or space that excited me. Like I had marketing experience in tech, education, healthcare, all these different things. And something about jewelry really drew me in, the fashion aspect, the storytelling aspect. I started by getting some in-house and freelance positions specifically so I could get that jewelry experience and dip my toe into it. And then seeing how much I liked being in that space, I eventually decided to focus there and build out my network within that industry.
Cool. And I like how you picked the vertical, but then you kind of switched a little bit, like you were saying, like a year ago, to more of a horizontal niche. What prompted that change?
Yeah, that happened organically, I would say. I started much more as a generalist, understand a lot of different facets of digital marketing. But over time, as my agency grew, as we had experiences working with different clients, we just found with our clients the biggest impact and the biggest ROI that we ended up being able to provide them was in email marketing, which was always like a facet of what we were working on them with. But when we saw how well we could prove our value and get true results through email marketing, it really made me feel a little more passionate about it. And also, almost accidentally, we had better and stronger processes internally for executing on email. And we just got so good at doing that it felt like a natural next step, but it actually was not intentional from the beginning.
I gotcha. That's kind of like everything that I've done. It's all been by accident. You're like, oh, that kind of worked. And, be like, maybe we should do that. Then it doesn't limit us as much there because I'm sure there's probably a lot of women-owned businesses in jewelry as well, but then it kind of broadens out, and you're still, sticking to that horizontal around email marketing and that kind of stuff. So you've got a couple
Exactly.
layers in there.
Yeah, it didn't feel like a totally unnatural pivot. Like most of our clients were already, as you said, women owned businesses, all e-commerce. So moving out a little further from that wasn't a huge leap.
I gotcha. And was your business primarily for the past 9 years or so kind of inbound traffic?
Yes. So one of the benefits of being more like vertically focused in the jewelry industry, and I think anyone else listening to this can relate, you can really build out a network through word of mouth, through doing like speaking engagements, going to trade shows, going to conferences, and really focusing on building your connections within that specific industry. I also have had my own podcast and YouTube channel for many years that was so focused on that industry. And as you can imagine, the SEO benefits of that to build all of that content specifically for the industry really were also beneficial for me. And I barely had to do any outbound because that just worked. But as you probably know, SEO is changing. The way people find service-based businesses is changing. AI came into the picture. And so I had to rethink a lot of that to stay relevant.
Yeah. Well, I was just chatting with someone a little while ago, and actually I drafted an email that I just sent out to the list, and it basically said, if 2025 was not the stellar year for you, or if you actually went backwards, it's not because you can't blame the market. It's probably because you haven't adapted and you're doing things the same way you've always done it, and you're doing it alone. Because I keep hearing stories and stories in agencies of like, they're not doing well. I'm like, well, what are you doing different? Oh, we're doing nothing. Like, we're still doing the same thing. I'm like, well, I don't feel bad for you.
I literally saw your email like a few hours ago. I saw it come through and I was kind of chuckling about it. I can definitely relate to that. And I think not only being forced to evolve, but asking myself questions like, do I want to do the things that it's going to take to keep up? Like, do I actually want to invest myself in this? Because now's the time you can either jump ship or, try to do something different. So it's almost like this existential crisis kind of thing.
Look, your agency adapts for every client, right? Your builder should do the same. That's why Wix Studio is built for the way you actually create. AI-powered site mapping lets you get straight down to the design. Whether you shape things in Figma or start in Studio, your vision's coming to life quicker with no-code animations and built-in responsiveness. And for client growth that actually scale, you've got extendable business solutions and a dynamic CMS. Scale your agency at wixstudio.com.
Everybody wants to be the lion, but they don't want to do lion shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And that goes for everybody, including me sometimes, right? On different things. I recently hired one of our members told me about this health trainer that picks out his nutrition, all this kind of stuff. Because there's lots of people that love going to the gym, right? They love working out, right? Like, it gives them energy. I do not. I hate it. But I do have discipline in the things that I know I need to do, right? And it's the same thing within your business. Look, you're not going to love everything. But like I always tell people, I'm like, look, just list out the things you don't love right now, get it done, do the lion shit, but make that list and then go, what systems can I put in place? What people can I hire? What can I say no to in order to get rid of that stuff? Because you can really design the agency around yourself, of everything that you like, everything that you love doing, which is the fun part.
It's so true. It does kind of suck, though, when the things that you like less and have just learned to accept and build into your routine, when you have to actually look at them critically and see how do they have to change now. I think it's really hard to change when you already kind of don't like whatever it is that you're doing.
Yeah, I get it, right? Like, especially running an agency, you have to mostly love change.
Yes.
Mostly. No one loves everything fucking changing every day.
right? Like
Yeah.
that's just stupid. Like if anybody says that, they're lying to you. But, I do enjoy solving problems, but I don't like having problems.
It's so
But
true.
the only way you can solve problems is to have a problem. All right. Like, so it's kind of the catch 22. But you were talking about a majority of your business was inbound before my ADD and dyslexia took over. What did you start doing to generate more business for you?
I have changed a lot. I would say in the past year or two, I have started doing more outbound, just seeing how the economy has been changing, especially in the industry I was focused on. It has changed a lot. And so I have had to teach myself how to be more comfortable with cold outreach, cold calling, cold emailing, cold LinkedIn, and also developing processes around those things to have other people help me, and understanding what are the best practices for us to do that. And then also adapting my inbound as well, because not only has the content wise, has it had to change to cater to this slightly different audience, but also the algorithms that once brought me so much traffic on YouTube, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, those have been changing so much. So trying to figure out how to adapt and change my content also without killing myself, because it's so much work to have to keep up with some of these things.
Yeah. One of the things that we started doing about 8 months ago was really thinking about how are people going into AI looking for solutions, and how do we come up? And we've seen a huge uptick in our traffic of people reaching out for help, joining the mastermind, reaching out, coming to our events where AI has recommended us. And I look back at what we did, 8 months ago. And I'm glad we've been doing the podcast. I'm glad we've been building my personal brand for so many years, because I think, especially in this market going forward, people rather know the personal brand's beliefs and what they stand for. And then they'll be like, oh, you have what company? Kind of like, Gary Vaynerchuk has done for years and years, with Vanner Media, Vanner Ventures, whatever, all the businesses that he has. They all know what they're going to get. And it goes back to I remember an interview I did with Seth Godin, and he goes, if Nike created a hotel, we would know what that hotel would be like, or if an Apple created a hotel. But if Hyatt created a sneaker, we would have no idea what type of sneaker it was.
Yeah.
Right. Because we just don't understand the people behind. Like with Apple, we understand, we go, oh, we know Steve Jobs, Tim Cook, right? Those people, we understand what they believe from their personal brand and what they stand for. So I'm glad you're doing that.
Yeah. I've had almost the opposite problem for me, because I think it's funny. So my business is called Joy Joya, and I'm Laryssa. But me as a marketing thought leader in my space, people think my name is Joy. That's how closely I have been enmeshed in my brand, to the point that I think for a long time, people understood my perspective, my take, but then they didn't actually even know what my business did, what services we provided. So I was putting out all this great information and I was present, but then how do you convert that to the right people at the right time for the sale? And that's been an ongoing journey that I've been trying to figure out.
Yeah, it's tough. The thing that I love about this business is there's 1,000 ways to do things. That's why I get so agitated a lot of times whenever I am scrolling on social during a commercial, right? And I see so much bad information out there. And they'll be like, here's the silver bullet for you to be able to live the life with purpose that you I'm like,
right.
I can't take it. Or I get those emails from certain individuals that, and it's just selling kind of snake oil versus look, here's what we did. This worked 99% of the time, but there's 1,000 ways to do it. You just got to figure out what are the little things that works best for you, and then go do it. So
definitely, that makes sense.
Well, awesome. This has been a lot of fun. Is there anything I didn't ask you that you think would benefit the listeners listening in?
No, this has been a great chat. I had a lot of fun. Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show. And for everyone listening, if
if you're tired of kind of being kind of stuck in the weeds, you're doing the same thing over and over again, kind of like what we're talking about, and you want to do something different in this new year, reach out to us at agencymastery.io and see if we can actually help you out. We have a number of different live events for agency owners where we put you in a room of amazing agency owners. We literally interview everybody before they're able to come to make sure that it's going to be the best room. So make sure you guys check that out. And until next time, have a swank day.